Welcome to the Arclight Battery, your power source for all things Warcraft Rumble related. In today's video, we're going to talk about the impact that Deep Breath has on the PvP meta, as well as what's happening next week and what has happened this week. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say that yesterday there was not a video because I had completely lost my voice. I'm still getting it back, so if I sound quiet, that's why. I apologize in advance. So, let's go ahead and talk about what has happened this week. First, we had the Dead Mines dungeon with the Horde family. So, if you are missing Cairn, Grommash, or Sneed, and you feel like you want to get them, do so before Sunday morning, because they'll rotate out of the shop, and you'll have to wait a whole, I believe it's 4 weeks, before you can pick them up again. So, that means next week we have Blackrock family for the dungeon, and it will be no Merrigan. Blackrock's pretty good. Both Rind and Dracasath have been doing decent in PvP recently on this new map, which we'll go and talk about here in just a couple of seconds. So look forward to picking up those leaders when they launch. Alright, so speaking of PvP, we have a new PvP map called Arathi Basin. It is on the screen currently, you can see it. There are a couple narrow lanes with a narrow middle island that has gold mines. So we saw the fall of some meta units like Prowler that was really good at claiming chests because there are no chests on this map. Huntress has seen a little bit of fringe play, but not a ton. And we've also seen the rise of a couple of things. Corehounds are a pretty good strategy right now, though I think they're a little weak and they're just kind of fun, but a lot of people are playing them. Dracasath is also kind of in that category. I think he's better than Corehounds, especially if you're built fully around him. However, most of the people playing Dracasath have very high army levels, pretty much full level 9s and a couple level 10s. So take that how you will. It's definitely a fun deck, and it's definitely worth checking out. So if you have those pieces, I would probably play the deck, but you do need different pieces for it. You need Holy Nova. You need Shaman with the armor talent, though I guess that one's not too terribly important. It does heal, and Dragon Towers are elemental, so you could get away without it, or get by without it, but it's still really good. And then you need Dracasath. Generally the resistant talent, we thought it was bugged in the past, where it was giving resistance to the enemies as well, but it turns out it's not, it's just a visual bug. So, definitely one of the best talents. If you have the pieces, once again, play it, it'll be good. If you don't have the pieces, probably don't spend a bunch of gold unless you're whaling to pick them up. We have Harvest Golem being really good in this map. It's used to clog lanes and group things up because it dies and stuns things for 3 seconds, even flyers. Then it will revive, tank things again, and stun things again for 3 seconds. So you can really clog up a narrow lane and get a bunch of gold worth of your opponent's units on top of each other to then Blizzard or Deep Breath. Once again, Blizzard is very good. We've got videos talking about all of this on my channel, as well as a Murk-Eye deck guide, and we'll have more deck guides coming in the future, so just make sure to stay tuned for those, or go back and check them out if you haven't seen them already. Let's talk about Chimaera as well. Chimaera is very good in PvE, however, not so much in PvP. The problem is, he just dies to safe pilot, and that's everywhere. Spending 5 gold for just to lose it to a 3 gold investment feels really bad. Even with the Leviathan talent, a safe pilot with stealth will hit the Chimaera and then kill it out of the stealth shot without giving it a chance to respond. So unless you're supporting it with like a Holy Nova or a Tyrion or something like that, he's not going to live, and really it's just still not where I want to be spending my gold. I've seen a lot of builds with Chimeras in them, and a lot of people talking about how good it is. I haven't lost a match to Chimaera yet. It's not very good. I do think he's very good in PvE. I think the double poison damage talent, or maybe even the frost talent, could have some really good uses, especially in the upcoming raids, but we'll just have to wait and see how that all pans out. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the actual topic for today, which is Deep Breath. It is amazing. I'm showcasing it on the screen right now. These are videos that were, or I guess matches that were already on the channel, but I just wanted to showcase how egregious they are. So, specifically, the double dragon talent, which fires a second beam in the opposite direction. what this does is it creates this ability to clear lanes, since everything is so narrow and it funnels units through narrow lanes in this map. It creates this ability to clear a lane while also dealing chip damage to your opponent's base. And so the main way to play this map currently is to do as much damage as you can to the opponent's base without investing, while investing the smallest amount of gold possible. So Double Dragon specifically hits whatever is in the center of both blasts twice. So it's really good at killing a Huntress. It's really good at knocking Rend off of his mount. It's really good at just putting big damage on your opponent's base. And if you drop the double damage on your opponent's base, it can also cover the middle, which is kind of insane. It allows you to control the gold relatively well. It's not enough to one-shot a miner on even level or at a disadvantaged level. However, you don't have to do that. You can get small chip damage on your opponent's base, and I think that's what a lot of people playing Deep Breath don't understand right now. Everyone keeps spamming it on the opponent's base for double damage, and yes, you do that sometimes, but generally you use it to control the map, and then just use the very tail end of one of those beams to deal a little damage to the opponent's base. It's mainly used for clearing all of these narrow lanes. It's pretty egregious, honestly. I was not running it in I wasn't running it in 3 of my top 4 decks. However, after getting into about the 4,300 bracket, you just kind of have to. Everyone there is playing it, and if you don't play it, it feels like you are at a very large disadvantage. It's really unfortunate because it's such a niche spell right now. So you have all of the best players, you have all the players who have it playing it, and then you find really good players that break into that bracket and are competing, and we're competing on the last map, but they don't have Deep Breath yet, and so it really feels like you're at a disadvantage not having it, honestly. The spell is just so good. It wasn't as dominant on the last map because the map was very wide. There were multiple lanes to attack, and the lanes were wide, right? So it wasn't narrow enough for Deep Breath, and the map wasn't small enough for Deep Breath to be as egregious as it is. So it's kind of unfortunate. We're going to be on this map for a while, so hopefully if you don't have it yet, and you are playing in the very top end of the ladder, like the 4K range, you'll have a chance to get it soon. It's not necessary below 4K. No one else is going to have it. Even a lot of people above 4K don't have it. Once you get into like top 20 players-ish, most of them are generally running it. Once again, not everybody, but I'd say 90% of people. The meta is, I don't know if it's kind of stale or not, but I don't think that Dragon Towers will actually impact, or rather them rotating out of the meta will actually impact this meta as much as people think it will. I think it's still going to be very much about controlling the map and making sure you have the chip damage on the opponent's base with Deep Breath, and then you defend from there, because that's how it is now. I think certain units will get better and certain units will get worse, but I think it's relatively going to be the same play style. So, is Deep Breath ruining the meta? I don't really think so. I think it would be pretty close to the same as it is without it. I think you would still be putting chip damage on the base. However, you intend to do that by getting a Huntress there and having it get a couple shots off, a Tyrion walking up with Divine Shield, something like that, maybe just spamming Blizzard on their base when they play something next to it, and then defending from there. I just think that it feels bad right now because so many players don't have it that are pushing into that 4K per honor or honor per leader range. It sucks. It's unfortunate. It's probably going to be that way until this map rotates out, but it just is what it is. If you're close to pushing on Ixia, or you think you could take a day or two, or maybe a week even, and you could get Deep Breath, I would recommend doing it. It's kind of good on this map. So that's the discussion today. What do you guys think? Is Deep Breath good for this map? Do you think it's actually ruining the top-end meta? Have you seen a lot of top-end meta players playing it? What do you think? Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's content or any past content and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It really means a lot to a small channel like me. It helps me grow tremendously, and I just appreciate every single one of you. So, with that said, I will see you guys next time. Bye.